Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Fresh Ink. We're here in the Ultimate Autograph Studio. My name is Donnie Rollins. To my right, Griffin Sassano, looking great as ever, and a candidate who was with us previously, and I mentioned that he fell off the face of the earth as if he died. RJ Carver's back in the booth with us.
I'm going to interrupt you and say you said I was no longer with us.
Yeah, that
was the exact words. Well, I was actually behind the camera, so still with us, still here.
RJ is no longer with us as if you died.
I'm deceased. I am here. I was actually, like I said, behind the camera, so everyone still alive.
Fantastic. Thank you for joining us again, stepping in for Adam Johnson for episode 11. I got 3 good topics to talk about today. No 20 questions, but we do have an interview. After the podcast is over, our man RJ sat down with Quenton Nelson from the Indianapolis Colts and had a nice little chat with Q. He was a really, really great guy.
He's a large human.
He's a big
He's a
man.
really big individual.
He's a big guy.
I did not feel very manly.
Sure.
Yeah, just a normal dude, except for he's really big and blocks really well. Walked in the front door at the signing and was like, "Hey, Quenton Nelson, I'm here to sign stuff."
He really was like, he literally walked like
he walked to the front door.
The players had exclusive access to the back room and whatnot. He walked right through the public front door. And like, what's up? I was like, hold on, pause. People want to see you. So the first topic we're going to talk about is, in terms of autograph value, someone who is relatively low on the charts or, undesired right now. By the end of the 2019 season, who's going to have a breakout year in terms of their autograph value? Or who's going to be the most desirable that isn't desirable at the moment?
We're talking NFL, nobody. Well, basically NFL 0 to heroes.
Correct.
NFL 0
for autographs purposes, I believe. So, Griffin, you want to start?
Yeah, I'll start it off and be a bit of a homer. Honestly, I'm going to go with a guy that was injured all of last year. People kind of forgot about him. But I think Hunter Henry is going to be a comeback player of the year candidate. Maybe a candidate to have like a George Kittle-esque season, kind of like last year that the 49ers tight end had. Gronk retired. Maybe going to lead the league in touchdowns this year.
Wow.
I'm calling it. Him and
tight end?
Yeah, I'm calling it. Him and Phillip Rivers, man. Watch out. Watch out.
So I collect cards pretty seriously, and he's a guy people chase hard.
Really?
Yes, okay. People chase him pretty hard, just because they feel the same way you do in terms of he has great breakout potential. And what you want to do, it's almost like a stock when you buy cards, is invest in someone who's relatively unknown right now. Like that's what they do a lot in baseball. Baseball has prospects, thousands and thousands of prospects, and you want to find that one that you buy into for cheap, and all of a sudden he's the next Mike Trout. And those cards go for thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars. So that's a good one. That's a good one. RJ, what do you got?
Gronk will be unretired by October.
Sure.
Inside source, aka Barstool. So just throw that in there. I'm gonna call November 11, 2019.
Okay, so your answer is Gronk?
Yeah. No. My answer is teaser Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Number 2 receiver for the Packers.
Okay.
Theoretically, depth chart wise, right? Number 2. I would put him at number 2. I would call me wrong. But not a lot of targets last year. I think the offense was in shambles. I think the team had kind of given up with the whole McCarthy thing. Clubhouse was gone. Blah, 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 blah. They suck. As a Packers fan, I'm always going to bring a Packer to the table. So sorry for anyone who listens. But no, I think, honestly, the autograph value will go up. Personable guy. Spoiler, hopefully we're going to be working with him. So looking forward to bringing more athletes to the podcast. Plug for myself and autographs. I think hopeful guy. Packers are poised to be a contending team. But I also do think Mr. Le'Veon Bell is going to be a comeback, gone for a year. I want to say it for fantasy value because I have a keeper league and I held on to him.
So. One of the only people.
Yeah. But I want to say that he's going to be back in shape, and through the wire, I've heard from a few agencies and things that he's the Jets relationship isn't as bad as we think, and should be smooth sailing. So we'll see what happens.
Not bad pick. MVS, as people call it.
MVS. I actually prefer that because I feel like I mess up his name every time I say it. I prefer not to say that.
MVS sounds cool.
Yeah.
I think that's hanging out. I'm going out with MVS.
Yeah. I think we just need to make that household so we know what it says. It's mouthful.
Sure. I'm going to go with guy from the Steelers, rough wide receiver thing last year with Antonio Brown.
Rough wide receiver thing.
James Washington.
Mm-hmm. I like that. I love
Washington.
Love that pick.
From the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Spoils for a lot of receptions.
Yes, a lot of receptions, and now he's going to be probably the number 2 guy. Number 2 for sure, behind Juju Smith-Schuster, who I love. So I hope that James Washington can free up Juju a little bit, because he's going to be double-teamed pretty much every offensive possession for the Steelers, which leaves James Washington a lot of room for success. And, another guy, to bring up cards again, another guy who you invest in right now, because he's a cheap guy to get, a cheap autograph for memorabilia, and, doesn't sign a ton. We don't see a ton of James Washington stuff. So, a guy who could be very desirable towards the end of the season in the 2019 year. James Washington.
Yes, I really like that, because especially in the Steelers offense, you got Big Ben Roethlisberger. They're kind of now a pass-first offense.
Mm-hmm.
They've always been Le'Veon Bell would just get touches. He wouldn't necessarily get a lot of carries, but yeah, they do like to air it out. There needs someone to fill in for Antonio Brown. Juju Smith-Schuster obviously will be the number 1 guy, and then James Washington, I think Eli Rogers maybe is like the 3rd receiver. So it'll be interesting to see what the Steelers can do now without. They're only one killer bee left. Big Ben.
Yeah, killer bee. Yeah.
That was what they called it. 3 killer bees.
Killer bees.
Bell, Brown, Big Ben. I mean, Rod's last name is Roethlisberger, but
sure.
So and
I still nothing.
Okay.
I do.
Yours is also banking on Big Ben being somewhat good himself.
Good.
I've heard a lot of.
But I think he will.
I've heard a lot of murmurings that this might be the year that we see Phil Rivers and Ben Roethlisberger. Maybe. I hope not. But I'm not keeping it out of the question in my mind as a Chargers fan. And, Big Ben and him both came in as the same draft class. 2004 was 2019. So. Maybe you remember Manning? Manning kind of had a little drop off with the Broncos. He was throwing floating ducks.
Little drop off.
Little drop. I mean, yeah.
Still big man.
Yeah, still big man.
His legacy has not changed.
But the defense did carry him, and that defense was unreal.
Wounded ducks.
Wounded ducks. Yeah.
Ducks typically don't float.
Floating ducks. Floating ducks float on water, but not. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. With the image that you're creating,
yes.
The floating duck is not what you want. My second pick is a guy who was injured his whole rookie season. He's a running back for the Washington Redskins. His name is Darius Geis.
Ooh, okay,
I think super desirable at the end of the 2019 season. I think he's going to break out. He's going to show off that he is a savage, because he writes that on some of the memorabilia that we've seen through here. And you got to have some confidence if you can write, "I'm a savage" on your own autograph item. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do at the end of this year. Just powerful running back, stud, So behind Adrian Peterson, exactly. Behind Adrian Peterson right now, but who knows how many,
Who better to learn from than
exactly.
Adrian Peterson?
He's going to make that team. Beat me to the punch there. He's got such a veteran, savvy running back in front of him. He can learn all day from Adrian.
Chris Thompson too. Can he teach running back passes?
He's probably 3rd, 5th, 6th year in the league.
Chris Thompson,
5th year maybe.
4th, 5th, yeah.
Again, another veteran-ish body.
That will peak in our fancy waiver asset for sure.
You have another one, Griffin?
I'm trying to think. Oakland Raiders, though, maybe. Tyrell Williams kind of broke out a little bit with the Chargers, but now that he's squarely the number 2 guy, no one's fighting with him behind Antonio Brown, except I think he might be able to improve upon his numbers that he put up with the Chargers, because last year he had the emergence of Mike Williams. There wasn't enough for 2 Williams in town, so kicked one out.
Tyrell Williams, wide receiver from Oakland?
Yes, he's signed an off-season deal with the Raiders. Actually, a pretty hefty deal, 3 years, $42 million.
Really?
Yeah, he put up some decent numbers with the Chargers, but the Chargers have great wide receiver depth, so they did grant warrant the contract. He didn't warrant the contract just because of how deep they are. So he's now in Oakland, so maybe look for him to have a better year than he had last year.
Sure, another breakout.
Yeah, the talent's
of
there.
Memorabilia. Oakland is a pretty good market.
Yeah.
So again, you got to look at markets here. Who are people going to invest in? Oakland's relatively decent.
Mm-hmm.
So you gave us Gronk. You gave us MVS.
May I have another one in my back pocket? Who knows? I hate to say it pains me in more ways than I care to admit, but I think David Montgomery is poised to be a breakout running back for the Bears this year, barring they are the team they were last year. Their defense, their line steps up. Not a lot of opportunity for rookies to step in as the number 1 running back on a team, especially a team that made the playoffs. As a Packer fan, like I said, my heart now hurts really bad to say it, but
you got your Packer.
It's not false. I mean,
yeah, I said Raider.
Out of Iowa State, right?
Yep.
I mean,
Iowa State Cyclone.
Mm-hmm. He's got to be the star there for 4 years, and obviously college doesn't necessarily always translate over to the show, but I mean, he reads his blocks, hits the gaps. I mean, it can be good.
I watched him a lot in college. My dad's an Iowa State alum, so I watched a lot of David Montgomery in college, and the man can run. He runs through the hole violently, great after contact, runs through our arm tackles, can catch the ball a little bit. Like you said, 4-year star experience. So I think the Bears got a good one.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm, going for a Bears fan, I'm extremely excited. Not to watch him play, but to watch his autograph value kind of rise. Because the Bears do good. It's a very good market in Chicago. So watching his autograph value rise will be interesting to see. And that's what I'm kind of looking forward to. I kind of look at memorabilia a whole different way since I started working here. I thought like Mike Ditka was the highest value item you can get. Now it's like, wow, what's Mike Ditka? Like, whoa. It's like, whoa, Mike Ditka, but not bad at coach at all.
Yeah.
It's like nobody, desires him as much as I thought they would when I started here.
Well, if you look at the Chicago autograph market and look at the Chicago Bears as a whole, like the organization's history, there's not that like real breakout besides Urlacher and things. There's not that real breakout superstar. Yeah, well, so going back more current, like obviously the '85 Bears.
Sure.
Anyone on that team carries their own weight, but of recent, those teams have been more of a complete team effort than it was like one or two huge superstars. They absolutely have not had a Trubisky and Cutler, the two biggest name quarterbacks they've had in 35 years.
Granted, giant names.
I mean, it's just like that's as big as it gets, and they haven't had the breakout running back, the breakout quarterback that is naturally selling jerseys, naturally selling collectibles that are it sits top 10. It just hasn't happened yet. So it would be interesting to see one of those top 10 athletes be in the Chicago market.
Mm-hmm. Other than if Khalil Mack.
Well, yeah,
he's last year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's already there.
But he's kind of taken over as our front runner now for memorabilia stuff. And by our, I mean my Chicago Bears.
I have not written that.
Yeah. So some good ones, some rookies, some 0 to heroes. Talking about memorabilia. Let's move to our next topic, and we're going to talk a little bit about baseball. Got into it a little bit last week with Adam here, talking about markets and franchise value and things like that. So just based off this 2019 MLB season, just this season, who's one guy you didn't think you wanted, but now have to have an autograph from this player?
There's a lot of guys this year that kind of have come out of nowhere. Right. My first one to lead it off is Quenton Nelson.
Okay.
The Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yes.
He was, I think, on the Mariners. Then he got traded to Arizona. And out of nowhere, the guy has like 20 home runs. He never hit more than like 5 in a season prior to this year. He already has 20 before the All-Star game. I don't know, maybe it's something about the humidor down in Arizona. The balls are just flying. But it seems so strange a guy that never hit more than 5 in a season is all of a sudden hit 20 before the All-Star break. Averages up there, RBIs are up there with the tops in the National League. So, yeah, before this year, if you asked me, do you want a Quenton Nelson ball? I'd be like, well, let's see how he does. No, but yeah.
Absolutely not.
No. Now we have Quenton Nelson, a possible All-Star game, maybe a starter. I mean, the new format is they have like 3 guys as a starter candidates, and you vote on 3. And then whoever doesn't make that gets the reserve spots, and then I guess there's a couple left other spots to fight over. So I think he's second baseman for the Diamondbacks. Yeah, Quenton Nelson, out of nowhere.
It's going to be interesting seeing Craig Kimbrell on Cubs.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, because you still have he's the 2018 World Series champ.
Correct.
He unfortunately didn't sign until just now, so going to AAA, get some. Would you call it rehab or call it just get my ass back in shape?
Correct. I would say that.
Outings and no, it's cool because he really does still have the notoriety. Mm-hmm. He's just switching teams to the current-ish contender a few years ago with their last World Series win. So 2 historic franchises. I think the autograph market for him really even opens up more because Chicago was again a big market, big collectability there. It's cool to see him in pinstripe, so we'll see what happens with the actual the on-field performance because it hasn't happened yet. So I think in terms of collectability, you'll start seeing the demand for that rise.
I like that. I didn't even think of that. That's a really good one. And now, I mean, just like you said, the Cubs market's huge, and for a new bullpen pitcher who will get a lot of calls in the next 3 years, a lot, and his unique style goes a long way too. He's on the mound, he has that weird arm thing that he does. And, he's a standout kind of guy.
He wants to get eye level with the mitt. That's what I've determined.
Eye
level with the catcher's mitt. Just, right there in the center of the zone. He wants to just envision it.
Sure.
That's my best theory as to why he gets down there.
It's pretty good.
I think he's just insane, but that's
that could definitely be.
As a former bullpen pitcher, it goes to the whole, you were bored shitless for 7 innings. There's nothing to do. You throw seeds in a bucket, charge kids $1 to throw, to flip coins closest to a bucket, so then you give them a baseball. Beer money. It's the way we used to make beer money in college, man. And, we didn't drink underage.
That's good.
Right,
you have kids. You put a bucket in the middle of the bullpen, and you have kids throw quarters at it.
Sure.
And if a kid gets in the bucket, you throw them like a BP ball. But usually we had a pile of chewed up ones that we'd be collecting. And
chewed up?
Like just chewed up as in like beat up balls.
Oh, you didn't eat them?
No, we didn't physically eat baseballs. No,
sure.
We don't eat baseballs. Don't do that. We used to collect. $15, $20 a game.
It's not
These
bad.
kids would go and ask their mom for $1, like change it for quarters and start chucking quarters in the bullpen. So, bullpen pitchers, they're weird breed, but I think seeing that pose in a Cubs uniform on like a Topps card or game used jersey card or on a baseball
it'll go a long way. I agree with you. My choice is a guy who I consider myself a rival with, being that he's on a rival team of the team I like, but he's undoubtedly one of the most dominant figures in the game of baseball, and I would never kind of desire his autograph until this year. He's kind of proven to me that he's a stud star. Christian Yelich from the Milwaukee Brewers. And I hate to say it because I'm a diehard Cubs fan, and for me to want something from the Brewers organization is a little bit sad on my part, but at the same time, I can't not appreciate what he's doing for the game. You know what I mean? He's on pace to hit over 60 home runs. I think we joked earlier this week that he may hit 121 home runs this season.
I believe it said 91.
91.
The man picked up where he left off after last year.
Yeah,
killed the Cubs in the postseason.
It wouldn't be bad. It wouldn't be bad to add like an autograph card by Yelich into the collection, or a rookie or something like that, just because he's such a dominant figure in a game that I really enjoy.
I think his Marlin stuff is working.
Yes, I do. Absolutely do. He kind of turned a positive note for that franchise, and then Derek Jeter kind of ruined it. But he was a positive note in that organization without Giancarlo Stanton.
I want to say he made an All-Star game with the Marlins.
He might
have. He got pretty good.
But for his dominance right now, he has given me a reason to try and obtain something from him in memorabilia.
And he's just downright likable.
He's a
good
guy.
Very likable guy.
Relatable. You see him on Barstool. You see him on other local Milwaukee area side. He's not afraid. He's not afraid to talk to the camera. He's personal.
Mm-hmm.
It goes along. Yeah.
And I hate him on the field.
Oh yeah,
because I have to.
You have to, but you don't want to.
But I want to.
It's an obligation. It's not you're obligated. You don't want to. You're just obligated.
I gotcha.
Ryan Braun. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say.
That's weird.
We were on the Brewers.
So right, we were on the way too in that segment. So we'll do one each, and we'll move on to the next and final topic here. Before we move into the interview with our guy Q. I can call him Q, right?
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll call him up and get some permissions.
So football franchises, we talked a little bit about baseball last week, football franchises with the highest overall autograph value. So we talked, it was Yankees, big market team, Red Sox, Astros, Dodgers, correct. Now let's get into football autograph value in terms of franchise.
I think this one's more interesting than baseball because there are a lot more teams that you could probably choose from. Obviously, we got the Cowboys.
Just pick one.
We'll go Cowboys.
Don't give away all the answers.
Okay, we'll go Cowboys. Obviously, you had the triplets in the 90s.
Sure.
Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin. I mean, they are the Dallas Cowboys. They earned the title of America's team with their performance in the 1990s. So
have they lost that?
A lot. Was it? They haven't won a playoff game since like 1990 something.
Have they lost the title of America's team?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That just completely went over.
Have they lost the title of America's team? No, I do not think.
I know where he's going with this because I've actually heard there were some murmurings last year throughout the year. Yes, it's one of my go-to words to describe rumors.
small box.
Yes. Heard some chatter that the Green Bay Packers might be taking the title of America's team because it's a blue-collar town, they love their football. I think that was where you were going.
Statistically, and travelability of fan base.
What a lame
the metrics will point to the fact that I'm just trying to use metrics. Fan metrics.
Fan graphs.
Fan metrics.
It's not even a word.
Copyright, also autographs, 2019.
So
fan metrics.
So you're going with the Cowboys?
Yes, Dallas Cowboys.
Highest autograph value?
Yeah, I just think there's so many fans out there for them still.
We're gonna roll with the champs. You gotta go with the New England Patriots. I mean, just.
Someone had to say it.
It's a decade plus of dominance.
Yeah, 20 years.
And so many different characters play a role in that. It adds. I mean, if you look at all 6 Super Bowl teams, there is some sort of variance in who those obviously Brady is your consistent, but who those superstars were, or those standout players for that particular championship team, that you have so much variety there. And it's just, and then not even if you look back on it, in the midst of that run, they brought back the old logo and started doing the red jerseys and things, so it adds a more with the alternate Nike or Reebok into Nike that 2009, 2011, bringing back the throwback, the alternate for a lot of teams. There's just so many options between helmets and jerseys and players that, I mean, the value is just, and then you go back, they were even in the Super Bowl in what?
85.
I mean, 85, but also in 97 against the Packers, so there's a lot there to roll with.
Mm-hmm. But between 85 and 97, they were pretty darn awful. So
I mean, it's that peak. It's the storytelling.
Yeah. And then I'm saying then they get their heyday now in 2000, so it's like they earned it in a way. But
you can't beat it.
Yeah, 6 Super Bowls.
Looking around at some trophies.
Yeah, some trophies, right?
So all checking over here.
Checking over. We got Patriots on. Let's see if we have Patriots on. So we do. So I was actually going to say the Patriots. But since you mentioned them, I'll try to bring up another team that I think is a huge franchise autograph value. I was thinking two. They're both from the same state of California. I was thinking Raiders and 49ers. In terms of 49ers more, and Raiders actually, in terms of history of the franchise.
Historic.
Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, Rich Gannon, Tim Brown, Bo Jackson for the Raiders. I mean, you can do a laundry list of players that you desire from both teams. We can go on forever about players that you would want from both teams, and I think that's a big part of this question is overall franchise autograph value. For the Patriots, like you said, they made the Super Bowl in 77, they made the Super Bowl in 85. You don't desire a bunch of those guys in terms of autograph value, And then you mentioned the Cowboys, that's a standalone team. In my opinion, that's the best answer here, being that they've had a long history of desirable autographs. You know what I mean? So to piggyback off those two, they're great for now guys in terms of Brady, Gronk, guys like that you'll want for a long time if you're a Patriots fan. And for a Cowboys fan, you can pretty much pick a year and grab an autograph from that year, and it'll be valuable. That's kind of what you see for the early 49ers teams: Joe Montana, Steve Young. I mean, those guys would be valuable forever.
Well, yeah, you brought up a good point with the 49ers. The history of that team. Also with the Cowboys, it's like, what have those teams done in the 2000s? Nothing.
Right.
So they earned that fan base for what they did do. That just goes to show, people will latch on to you if you're a winner. It doesn't matter how long ago it was. If you win, that'll be your team forever. Cowboys fans haven't experienced a playoff win in 20 years. They're still as large of a fan base as any in the country, just because of what they did prior to the year 2000. I mean, the 49ers were dominant in the 80s and the 90s.
Right.
So,
and look at them now. In 2019,
they could be on the up and up with Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, they could be though. Things are looking up. They just got to stay healthy. That was the big thing last year. Was they were really riddled with injuries. The Raiders too. They got some life with Antonio Brown. John Gruden's second year. He finally got the players that he wants. Everyone's over 30. Wants the veterans. He doesn't like coaching up the youngins.
Right.
So we'll see how that goes with Oakland. But I think San Francisco probably is in a better position right now.
I agree. And those are just two. We can go on. We can name a bunch of teams.
How many rings does San Francisco's quarterback have? 2, 3?
The Jimmy Garoppolo?
Oh, yeah.
I had a friend for a long time always looking at those. he'd do the Rodgers. He's a diehard Niners fan, and he'd do the Rodgers Garoppolo comparison. He goes, "You just look at who has more rings."
That's true. I mean, in terms of rings, he's probably a better quarterback than Rodgers.
Rings directly correlate to experience.
Yeah, right. Jimmy G earned those hard.
Yep, exactly.
So I think we pretty much tackled 3 topics for this episode.
Yeah.
So, thanks guys for watching. We love the feedback from you guys that we got so far. We want to see more fan interaction in terms of questions and how you guys would kind of go about the topics that we're going over. But to wrap things up, let's go to the interview with Q and our man Arjun. So thanks guys for watching. We'll see you guys next time here at Rushing.
6'5", 330 pounds. It ain't sexy, but everyone I speak to around the league says this is your no-brainer, surefire NFL superstar at the next level. This guy will be a Pro Bowler. Daniel Jeremiah went as far as saying this, guy. Nelson is the best run blocker I've ever evaluated.
Just saying that.
I'm RJ, by the way. Nice to meet you, Quenton. Well, Colts fans, here with Quenton Nelson. First question, super easy one. Who was your sports hero growing up? If you had one?
Sports hero growing up, football-wise or basketball?
Anything, even Hollywood.
I like Jason Kidd growing up.
Jason Kidd.
Yeah. New Jersey Nets fan.
You're a New Jersey guy, right?
Yeah.
So, all right, I agree with that one. So, what's the moment that hit moment for you where you're like, I can make a career out of this football thing?
It's probably after my redshirt freshman year, after playing a full season at Notre Dame. I thought I did pretty well and just knew how much I can improve upon that season. And I said I could make a career if I dedicated a lot of time to it.
It's a good program too. So there are a few guys in the league, right? Some history.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Great. Well, obviously as a memorabilia company, what's the weirdest fan interaction you've ever had at training camp or even in college?
Not too many weird fan interactions too much. I mean, everyone's just like really nice. I would say like kind of some of the coolest interactions has been like when someone's like literally shaking, like handing me like something to sign, like because they're so excited to see me, and that's pretty cool to me.
Devin won the day. He had a 2-week-old infant handed to him before they asked his picture. Just gave him the baby first. So
wow.
None of the weird. Still plenty of time for that.
Yeah.
Lastly, like what? Obviously a New Jersey guy. What were some of your favorite sports teams growing up? Obviously you said the Nets, but
Yeah, I was a Nets fan, Giants fan, and Mets fan.
you not had a chance to play out in New York yet.
What's that?
Haven't played out in New York yet at all.
No, we played the Jets in New York. Yeah.
Was it cool going home?
Yeah, it was sweet. There was a ton of like friends, family, everything there, and all came out to support. So it was really cool.
Well, thank you much for the time. Folks, Quenton Nelson.